Hello, and welcome to LawWon Gaming. My name is Eric, and this is Stellaris Combat Theory, a series where I take an in-depth look at Stellaris' combat mechanics. In today's episode, we're going to look at the raw damage output of conventional weapons and see how they compare. So let's roll that intro. What I mean by conventional weapons are the standard projectile, missile, and laser weapons. Most players know that these weapons represent a sort of rock, paper, scissors mechanic within the game, where projectiles counter shields, lasers counter armor, and missiles counter evasion. In addition, based on the raw numbers alone, missiles are reported to have the highest DPS, followed by projectiles, and finally lasers. When taking into account additional effects, lasers counter armor, where projectiles counter shield, and missiles have slight bonuses versus shields as well. Today, we're going to look and see which weapon has the highest raw damage output, not only on paper, but in practice. For this test, I'm going to conduct two series of tests, one using battleships and one using corvettes. Our control group will be 10 ships with level 3 projectile weapons equipped and no additional weapon bonuses. The test groups will be 10 ships with level 5 weapons equipped and no additional bonuses. Additionally, no ship will have a defense module equipped, or any other modules beyond the base ones. Power will be kept as close as possible to a net zero to avoid any other possible bonuses. For each group, we'll have them fight the control and see how many ships remain and at what health those ships are. The ships with the highest remaining health will have killed the control group quickest, and therefore have the highest damage output. i.e., if they take less damage, this means they kill the control group faster. My predictions are that the control groups will nearly wipe each other out, and any surviving ship will, on average, have very low HP left over. I predict the test groups will all survive due to their superior weaponry, and based on their survival rate, we can see which weapon performs best. Additionally, I predict missiles will perform best against corvettes, while lasers will perform best against battleships due to the natural armor of both. Lastly, I predict projectiles will perform in the middle for both series of tests. As you can see in the background, while I've been talking, I ran the test and recorded the results. I ran each test a total of 20 times, with the ships in varying positions, but all within close range of each other. The results were quite surprising. First, for corvettes, we can see that the projectile weapons far outperformed every other weapon, averaging 2 additional ships that survived compared to the other weapons. Far more surprising, however, were that the level 5 missiles and level 5 lasers sometimes lost to the level 3 projectiles. As for battleships, the projectiles again performed well, and as predicted, lasers performed the best, but only just barely edging out projectile weapons. The missiles, however, performed even worse, losing to the level 3 projectiles more often than not. Additionally, with the missiles, I noticed a trend in the data based on the positioning of the ships. Apparently, if missiles engage from point blank, they perform best, and they have an edge when engaging from the top on a target beneath them. So again, it appears that positioning matters. So how do we explain these results? Well, for starters, missiles are better on paper than in practice. The travel time and reload speed for missiles means they have long periods of doing no damage, while continuing to take significant damage, which means they will lose more ships and therefore lose more guns, while the enemy will continue to fire. It appears that the rate of fire and travel time to target are significant factors in doing damage, and projectiles excel in both these categories, with the highest rate of fire, on average, and second highest travel speed, slower only to lasers, which are near instant. This would also help explain why projectiles perform better than expected, not only for corvette testing, but battleship testing as well. In conclusion, I think the average player will want to stick with projectile weapons and mix in energy, or convert to energy, only if the enemy fleet is known to have significant armor. In practice, most fleets will have shields and armor, but if an AI or another player were to go strong on just armor, it would be wise to switch to energy weapons. It would also be best to avoid missiles at all costs. They simply do not perform well against virtually all other types of weapons. And that'll do it for this analysis on raw damage output for the conventional weapons. If you think I've made a mistake that has biased my results, or if you've got an idea for a change to this test, or a whole new subject to test, let me know. Lastly, I know it's been a long time between this video and my last Combat Theory video, and I do apologize for that. I've been struggling with a lot of issues this past year that have made it difficult for me to keep making videos. I'm working on getting better and working towards making my videos a more regular thing like they have been in the past. I'm planning on having the next Combat Theory out within 2 weeks rather than however long this has been. So, stay tuned, Space Cowboy, and I'll catch you next time. Enjoy the video? Well, hey, you should consider subscribing, or maybe checking out some of these other videos, or hey, why don't you leave a like? It'll help the channel grow. Or you can leave me a comment, maybe give me an idea for another video. Anyway, I'll see you next time.